I'm dying.
This time, I'm actually not joking. So as you can probably tell by my voice, I am very ill today, but we're playing Forza Motorsport 7. So the guys over at Xbox, I actually don't know why, but they sent me a code for Forza Motorsport 7. They said, why don't you do a review on it? Why don't you let us know what you think of the game? So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do. I've got a review lined up, and that's probably going to come out in the next week. But before that, I want to go ahead and give my first impressions, as I played the game for around 6 hours now. So I've got kind of a good basis on what I think the game is like. For anyone that is new to the channel, I don't normally sound like this. This is different. This is weird. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and hop into the career mode, which is called the Forza Drivers Cup. We're going to go ahead and talk about that for a bit, because I think this is one of those interesting things about Forza Motorsport 7. So one thing which I've specifically asked for from Forza for a very long time is progression. And they've kind of semi-listened to what I asked for, at least. So they've put progression in the game, but they've made it so you can get straight into any car right from the start, which isn't really progression, but it kind of is. Also, you see all of those little cars at the bottom, you can see. Those are all Horizon Edition cars. I was under the assumption those are bosses that you need to deface after you go through every single series. That's not the case. They're actually just cars that you obtain, which again is a bit disappointing. I would have hoped that was a kind of like a boss battle at the end. The way the kind of cutscenes are set up, it makes you think that, but it's not actually like that, which is a bit weird. Anyway, if we go into, say, this breakout championship, which is what I'm currently doing, we can see a bunch of options. We can see I've got a whole array of events to do. So as you can see here, I did the endurance race, which was an actual hour-long race, and I've done a few others here and there. So how it works, essentially, if you've got cars that you can purchase, you're actually eligible to go into that race. If not, then you'll have to go into like either one of these showcases where you fulfill the showcase mode, and usually win the car by the end of it as well, which again is a bit annoying. So let's say I do this event, chances are I probably win a 918 by the end of the event. Or you can go into one of these other races where you probably do have a car. Now I'm probably gonna do one of these now, I think. I don't know which one. I guess we can do touring cars, because I've already got a touring car apparently. Now before we actually go into that, this game is pretty much all about collecting cars, which is good. They're focusing on what kind of Forza's made on. As you can see there, I've got a driver level 3, which is a bit weird, and again I'm going to talk a bit more in depth about this in my review, but essentially, like, yeah, the car collection's it actually means something now. In previous Forza games, if you were just to collect cars, it really didn't mean anything. It just meant you were collecting cars. But this driver level actually lets you unlock more cars, and as well as that, it also helps you progress through the story mode. So there is some incentive now compared to before, when there was literally zero incentive. But to be honest, I've still got a few gripes with it, and I'll talk about that a bit later. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of cars, most of which I haven't drove. One thing I found out is that the DLC, the Fast and Furious DLC, which was given to me for free, I haven't actually used any of these cars. I literally downloaded them and bought them just to get my driver level up, which I think is a bit of an issue. I think you should at least drive the car for it to make it eligible for your driver level, but that's a little gripe I have. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into that GT race I was talking about a minute ago, and talk about the game itself, because I think that's a bit more important. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Now, one thing, considering we're at the screen, it's a perfect time to mention it: the loading screens. Oh my God, they are so painful, more painful than my AIDS infested throat. Honestly, it's a very, very nitpicky issue, but it takes so long to get in and out of games, like, it's just ridiculous. And when you're at this page here, so let's say you pressed A on a race and then realize halfway through you don't actually want to do it, I can't press B. B does absolutely nothing in this instance. Okay, so here we go. So I just want to say, before we actually get into this race, my assists are, I think ABS is off, the braking line's braking only, and all the traction control and everything else is off, and I'm playing in manual as well. So for those who are wondering, that is what I'm playing as. And we are currently actually on one of the new tracks, which is the Dubai track. Now, one thing I'll say about the physics is they are the best Forza has been since they've been on next gen, but then again, that's not that particularly hard of a feat, to be honest. There's still major problems with the racing, one of those being the AI. The amount of times I have just been rammed for no reason by the AI is infuriating. To be honest, it's one of those things with the difficulty level, it's either way too easy or way too hard, and I literally can't find a middle ground, which is just really, really weird. I like to think I'm pretty decent at this game, but I'm not like amazing. I'm like just in the middle. I'm a bit above average, and for someone like me, it's really hard to find a middle ground with the AI. And even if you limit the aggression in settings, it doesn't limit the aggression at all. They will still eat your fucking head. Chances are, if you have played Forza 6 or Forza 5, you're probably gonna get to grips with this relatively fast. It's pretty much just Forza 6 but tweaked in a very, very good way. The cars are a lot more heavier than last time, and generally it's just a bit better, really. It's a bit weird how in all of the E3 trailers and stuff and the kind of presentations they had, they didn't talk about the progression, because that was one thing which people have been crying out for ages. It's definitely something I wanted and I wasn't aware of before actually playing the game. So when I actually saw it, I was like, wait, that's a bit weird. Now, there is still like multiple things which are missing from this game. The lack of Fujimi, the lack of any drift mode in the career mode, at least so far, I haven't seen any. There was one event with Ken Block that you were supposed to race in, and you'd think it'd be some type of gymkhana or drift race, but it actually ended up just being a normal race, which for someone like Ken Block didn't really make a lot of sense to me when there is actually a drift mode in this game. But again, these are all little gripes I'll talk about when I actually, do my review on the game. I do want to point out I have literally not purchased this either. They gave me a code. Like, I don't know why they gave me a code, but they gave me a code. There's very little for me to say in a live com instance about this game other than this car is really grippy because it's a touring car. There's really not much else for me to say that I haven't already said about this game. If you enjoyed past Forzas, chances are you're going to enjoy this one. And if you've never played a Forza before, it's probably worth a pickup if you're on Xbox One. Honestly, if you're on Xbox One, I probably would pick it up. If you're on a PlayStation platform or on a PC, I'd explore other venues before, you tried this. There's a demo out for this game, so if you enjoy the demo, more than you thought you would, it's worth a try. But, like, if you're only on Xbox One, definitely buy it. If you've got the other consoles, I'd have a look at everything else first before you make a decision. Again, I don't feel like I'm at a place to say buy this game or don't buy this game. Those are just my initial impressions. Things are going to change, and when I actually do my full review, you'll see that. But those are kind of my base impressions. It's a good step forward for the series, is one thing I think I want to say. I wanted to go into this game enjoying it. When I saw the code, I had no intentions of buying this game, and it was one of those ones where, just because I didn't have any intentions of buying it doesn't mean that I didn't want this game to be good. Obviously, I wanted it to be good. And having played it, it's much better than I expected. Would I have purchased it again? I don't think I know at this stage. I'm a bit still on the fence about how much they've really done in 2 years. But without a doubt, the career mode at least is a step in the right direction. I'm looking forward to see what they have in the future. But again, problems that I've played Forza for a very long time now are just going to reoccur. For example, the DLC problem, which we've had for a long time now, is just going to become a bigger problem. And there's so many other things I could talk about which are just going to become a consistent problem. But for now, for my initial impressions, it's a good first jump. And with that being said, there we go, across the line. That's the end of my initial impressions video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I do apologize for my voice. I know it's really crackly and poppily. I'm a bit sick for some reason. I actually don't know what I have. That should also explain why I was a bit less animated in this video. But anyway, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome, stay safe, and peace.